sounds really strange to add cumin and lamb to a Chinese-inspired dish, but in actual fact, it's very classic. I'm going to do a wok-fried cumin lamb and serving it with some noodles. This is absolutely delicious. Now, first things first, we need to turn on our wok. And you want to get this really, really hot. The hotter this wok is, the better the result. So turn this on as your first step. Now to marinate the lamb, in a bowl, I'll add a little bit of peanut oil or vegetable oil, some Shaoxing wine, and some ground cumin. So a little sprinkle of cumin. And then I love the addition of thick soy or dark soy. This is going to give it a really nice, sweet, rich flavour. And then to thicken the whole thing up, a little bit of corn flour. Now with a whisk, I'll just mix the marinade together and just allow that corn flour to dissolve a little bit so we don't have any lumps in there. No salt required because the soy is salty enough. And now for the lamb. These are gorgeous little lamb fillets, but by all means you could use lamb backstrap for this. It works really nicely too, or lamb rump. Now this is so tender that it's only going to take moments to cook. I'm going to cut them into little pieces. You could cut them into strips too. And then I'll marinate it using your hands, mix everything together. Now I'll put this to the side for one moment while I prepare some more ingredients. For the onions, I'm not slicing them. I like to individually separate the leaves. This is not only going to look fantastic in our stir fry, but I love how they caramelise on the outside. I need lots of garlic for this, about 3 or 4 cloves, and I'm going to slice it. Lamb and garlic go so well together, so be generous with it. And for the ginger, I'm just going to slice it into thin slices. And now we're ready to start stir frying. Now when it comes to stir frying, it's always good to have a nice curved edge so it's easier to flick and toss all the ingredients together. A little bit more peanut oil. And you can see how smoky that is. That's fantastic. So it's time to add our lamb. This is just a small amount of lamb, but I still want to cook this in batches. The reason I want to cook it in batches is because I don't want this to stew. I want it to fry and caramelise. If you overcrowd the pan, then it will tend to stew and we'll get overcooked lamb. So in batches, and then give it a really good toss. All right, that first batch is ready to go. I've got a bowl here. I'll take the first pieces out. And then we'll add our second batch. And give that a really good toss. And while that finishes off cooking, we can get onto the noodles. I'm just using some Hokkien noodles, and you don't need to cook this in a pot. I'll simply place it in some boiling water and leave it there just to soak for about 2 to 3 minutes so we can separate the individual noodles. Now that this is ready, I'm going to return the meat to the pan with any of the juices because that's flavour. I'll add the onion now, the garlic and the ginger. Oh, it smells fantastic. But now we're going to hit it with extra flavour with some Szechuan pepper. Szechuan pepper is so interesting. It almost has a numbing flavour to it. Goes really well with lamb. So a sprinkle of that in there, not too much. And for a different tone of cumin, I'm leaving the seeds whole and sprinkling them in. And these whole spices are going to toast as we toss the pan. Now for the extra sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, some soy sauce. And then this is a really interesting addition, some black vinegar. It's going to give it a really nice depth of flavour. And another little toss. All right. Now we can add the noodles. They've been in the water for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'll use my tongs just to loosen them up a bit. And to heat up the noodles as fast as possible, I like to place the lid on my wok and just give that about 10 seconds. I'll also prepare a little bit of a garnish, some gorgeous coriander. Look how fresh this coriander is. I'm going to add quite a lot of it in this. And just run your knife through it a few times because I do want this coriander to wilt slightly as I toss it in the very last moments of cooking. All right, lid can come off. Coriander goes in. And then the final toss. Oh, look how great that looks. Heat off and it's ready to go. I'll just get a bowl and then we can serve up. That's a nice, generous portion, probably for two, but I'm a bit of a greedy guts, so I'll probably eat this whole thing. That is a very simple stir fry, but a very unique stir fry using the cumin and the lamb and the noodles. If you like, you could add many different veggies to this or keep it as simple as this so you can truly taste the lamb and the cumin.